Good music with Keith Ngesi Radio this morning. Mshoza City abantu bamlaba. Akasekho kanene.
Hey,
akasekho Mshoza. The late Mshoza. Umntana omncinci nje kube kanti ke kuphelile sibeka pha kumizuzu.
Yeah. Later, umntana wakhe.
Wakudrum.
Anele ngona. Nayo
walandela.
Umntana ke washiyeka
engenabazali. Anele
ngona. In a very short space of time. Father of umntana wakhe
noMshoza. Ungabi namnyaka omnye nje omnye emva kwam.
Hayibo inyanga eyi-1.
Hey, blind mzansi, blind. All right, baphulaphuli, masinamkele ke Mshoza ke besangomkela ngaye ke Olihle ka King Ngxoyi. Mfana nje uqiniseke into bana siyavana, siyavakala sonke izinto zethu. Imakala kumshoza bugqibile nje. Ufuna uva nje. Hi Lihle.
Hi mom, kunjani?
Okay.
Good morning mom, kunjani?
Neka nditshintshe ndilungise ngapha ndinxibe ezinye indlebe. Lihle, good morning.
Good morning mom, kunjani?
I'm blessed, thank you. Good to see you. Umhle ndiyabona i-purchase from maybe iphethe kakuhle ntwana.
Most definitely moms.
Yes. Uyayibona apha kuwe and ubuye ungashishizi ne-quality nje ye-picture yakho itsho kuqala. Khabulisa abaphulaphuli be-social crossover.
Good morning to our Pulapuli social crossover and Keith Ngesi Radio Station. Today I'm very excited and I'm happy to be back. Today we are going to be talking about how to secure high-paying clients or how to get high-paying clients, right? So we'll be talking about that today. In 2021, in business, it's time to secure big contracts. If you remember from the very first meeting we said when we started this year, I did say that, people have to stop selling one-on-one, right? And then you are gone, right? There's not much money in that. So the new way of doing business and to build sustainable wealth is to build contacts that will help you secure contracts, and contracts will secure revenue, right?
Yeah.
So contacts, which means the name of the game now is who knows you and who do you know, right? The more people you know, the more chances you have of success, and the more people know you. And this knowing thing is not just but what is it that you are bringing to the table?
Sure.
Right? So which means your contacts shouldn't just know you. I mean, each and every single one of us has over 200 contacts on their phone, on their phone, yes, on their phone list or contact list. But however, not all 200 contacts are doing business with you. More often than not, you'll find that out of people, if you say 200 contacts, you find out probably less than 5 people are doing business. So now the thing is, what are you doing with those 5 people? Which means the game is no longer about, the thing seller when you do one and then now the game is about contacts. Contacts secure contracts, and contracts secure revenue. Revenue secures wealth, right? And that's what this is about. So today we're going to be talking about how to get
revenue. Listen.
Yes.
Contracts, revenue.
Yes, and then revenue, and then wealth, right?
Wealth.
Because if you look, right?
Yeah, I think ingebo ligama elenziwe nesidima asithethi ngokuba rich sithetha nge-wealth sithetha ngo-accumulate wealth ne ingebo ne-weight ke la gama lengebo kuze ufumane ingebo qiniseka into yobana ii-contacts zakho agcini nje kube kungekho nto and ifanele uba aba bantu bagcinileyo bakwazi uba bakwenze ufumane ii-contracts. Ii-contracts sikwazi ukugenereyithela i-revenue eyiyo ezawukwazi ukuba ngomso ube kanti ke une-wealth, ugenerate wealth.
Yes. Ultimately, that's what you want. You want to secure contacts that help you secure contracts at least 6 months to 1 year in terms of your contracts. Otherwise, you have no business. What you want is to secure revenue for the next 6 months to 1 year, or for the next 5 years at most. but 6 months to 1 year should be a minimum, which means if I close a client today, this client will pay me 15,000 Rand for the next 6 months.
Okay.
Right. But more often than not, people, aren't aware of this. Umntu ufuna ukuthengisela, amagwinya, uthenga igwinya namhlanje, wenza profit ye-R2, and then tomorrow you have to find another client, and another client, and another client. So you are always looking for new clients to make money for today. That's one of the reasons why businesses get killed. It's because they're looking for clients to make money for today alone, instead of looking for clients to secure revenue. So when you think of clients after this, session that we are having today, I need people to start thinking of clients as means to secure income for a minimum of 6 months to 1 year from now. Right?
Okay.
Which means, remember what you said when you spoke about property, right? I said one of the reasons why I love property is leverage. Why? Because I get to be able to work once. Maybe that working once can be a period of 1 month to maybe 3 or 6 months, depending on how big the project is, and then I get paid for a lifetime, right?
Okay.
I build the system, renovate the property, get to build the relationship that can help in securing the revenue, get people who will manage the property so that I don't have to collect rentals. And then after that, I move on to the next project. Think about it. How many times does the bank work to help you buy your dream property? The bank works once, right? All they need to do is to approve you. After they've approved you, they're done working. Their job is done. So after they approval, if you qualify, they have actually secured a revenue, or income of about a minimum of 10 to 20 years, right? So now, that's wealth. That's income for 20 years from one person, from one individual, right? And then abantu befuna uthengisa, abantu bafuna uthengisa kayi-1, right? Thengisela ka-1 enza income ka-1. So which means you need to, as a business owner or as a wealth-minded individual, think about ways to lock people into your products for years, decades, if you can, right? That's
so
wealth. Right?
We are saying one must be able to one must be able to keep that client A1 sebenzela into yobana oyifumeneyo ungayiphunculi kwenzela uba ungamane uhleli nje, because la client if uyiphethe kakuhle and is happy with the product or whatever oyithengisayo or iservice leyo, uzawucinga noba sephi athi ndandikhe ndancedwa ngubani aye kuwe oko. So usebenzela into yobana umgcine ukhulise eza clients, because eza clients zikwazi ukubuya ungamane uqale ekuqaleni nyanga nanyanga.
Yes, mom, so that is what it's about, right? Imagine if this is the thing that people need to think about when creating wealth. You want to create wealth in a sense that should you be sick or should something unfortunate happen to you, right? If the thing samagwinya, then yes, and I'm not against abantu abathenga samagwinya, right? I'm not trying to make a mockery of them, but what I'm trying to say is you are putting physical labor, because for you to get income from ekuthengiseni amagwinya akho funeka uhambile uyobhaka. So which means xa ungakwazanga ubhaka akho income for lamini, and if you happen to be sick for inyanga akho income ulanyanga.
Okay,
what happens now? Or if, for example, let's say, for example, you get paralyzed, right? And you can't work for a period of 1 year, which means for that 1 full year, you have no income, right? And now this is the thing that we need to realize is that you are not getting younger. Your youth is actually supposed to be spent, your youth, I always say to people, your youth is supposed to be spent, especially when you are young, you're supposed to learn business skills, that really high-paying business, not just any business skills, high-paying business skills. Learn how to solve problems that can help you, at least with one client, make a minimum of 10,000 Rand a month from one client. That's how you create serious wealth, right? Look at the big companies all the time. And I always say, look at the big companies, right? So this is the reason why for me property makes sense. And I recently started doing marketing for companies that sell cars. Guess what? That seems to be a bit far-fetched, but that's one of my skills. I'm good at marketing. I'm good at selling cars, right? So now I've recently spoke to a client and I said, listen, I'm going to sell cars for you online. So your stock I will sell online. And out of every car that I sell, you pay me 15,000 Rand.
Okay.
From every car that I sell. Now look at this. I'm going to be spending in that business less than 15 hours per month. Look at this. Look at the labor. I'm able to work at home. I don't need to be there to sell these cars for this car.
Okay.
I can work from home and simply consult with people from home. Right? And that's simple. That's all you need to do. Right? So I secured this contract. And then from every car sale, successful car sale, this guy's going to be paying me 15,000 Rand. Right. Now, if I sell 10 cars in 1 month, that's 150,000. Less than 15 hours of labor. I'm going to repeat that. Less than 15 hours of labor.
Yeah. By the comfort of your own home, and you're busy selling cars and making money. Just by using your skills. And that's the thing. Tell me one business owner who if I can go to any business owner and say, listen, I can help you sell more cars. Listen, guess what? You're selling cars. Who can do business? Person knows that high class city go over the no. Because I'm bringing in more money into the family. Right? So and guess what? What does every business owner want? Funny stock must pay. Funny stock must have, right? True. So I've got a skill, a high-paying skill that every business owner is looking for. Right? If you were to come to me and say, listen, this is what I'm doing, and I need to sell these things, and you have the ability to help me sell, and you can help me make more money. Right? And that's what people are looking for. Sure. That's what people are looking for. So the more solutions you can provide, the more wealthy you can. The more skills you can provide,
the more wealthy
you can.
Actually, the more solutions you can provide, and let's add to that, the bigger solutions you can provide, the more wealthy you are. Yep. The more solutions and the bigger the solution, the more healthier you are. And what's the one? And I want you to think about it. Now, when looking to secure high-paying clients, stay away from people who can't afford you.
Say that again.
When looking for high-paying clients, stay away from people who cannot afford you.
Yeah. Because baza kudobalalisa, baza kwenza ungayiboni the bigger picture, baza discourage, baza uthini bayithu because they are affordable and they obviously they are not your market. Your market is out there.
Yeah. My mentor says they are a waste of executive time. Right. Because do you know what? This is the thing about them, right? It's either, this is the thing about success. You either live up to the standards of success or you don't. But more often than not, you get people who want the standard to be lowered for them. And guess what? I tried lowering the standard so many times for people. So many times I would allow myself to get screwed over by allowing myself to offer my services for people who couldn't afford me. And guess what? I ended up putting more work and ended up getting nothing in return. Now, there's nothing that you would hate as an entrepreneur as being a hard laborer and being a person who gets results, but your results are sabotaged by the person who cannot afford you.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? Very important. So which means you need to get yourself acquainted with people who can actually afford you, right? People who are actually understanding the value, right? Actually, this is what this guy is charging. If 15,000 Rand is too much, let's walk away. I don't, there are things I don't negotiate. What the most important thing is my worth in terms of from a moral standpoint, which means how you treat me and how you respond to me. I don't compromise that. The second thing, I don't compromise my worth in terms of my labor.
Okay.
I know what I bring to the table. I don't negotiate what I bring to the table. I don't give you the opportunity to negotiate my worth. And there's a reason for that, right? If I say, for every car that I'm going to sell for you using my marketing skill, I want 15,000 Rand, and you say, no, Chief, I'm walking away, and you're walking away. We're not going to bring it down to 10,000. In fact, I'll charge you more. I'll say 18,000, right?
Sure.
Why? Because this is my value. These are my skills. I took some time to learn the skills.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm soon going to become the best at it because this is what I do. I practice it every day, right? So that's why for me, there are things that you just don't play around with. It's your value. The reason why people get toyed around with in the workplace, talking about employees now, is because they don't know their value. You come up to someone and you say you're looking for a job, and they tell you what your value without knowing the quality of problems are. Right? Yeah. Abazazi ngxaki zakho, abayazi uxakeke nantoni, abayazi ukuthi why do you need the job? But because you need the job and you don't know your worth, they tell you what your worth is. And guess what? When you don't know your worth, right, you are in trouble, man. You're going through an economic crisis.
If I can just chip in there, Lihle, I know I always say, look, if umntu cannot afford you, as a speaker, to say, so often if they are saying, I for whatever services that they require from us, and no, Keith Ngesi Radio, blah, 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 it's okay. And as Warishi, as Katazi, as to taking that was Kumi Kakuva, we know our worth, and if you cannot afford us, well, it's okay. If
you are not the target market in the first place. Exactly.
And if I was to afford whatever services is whether it's live streaming, but you it's okay. Abantu abawaziyo and abantu abayaziyo equality yomsebenzi wethu, well, they're willing to pay for it, and it shouldn't. So now I'm to zama ukwenza le business uzama ukhula uthi uhamba izothetha endaweni ethile ufumana bakujonge bakukhezi kawusini baqonda ba asamnika 1,000 rand lena kuthiwe hayi enkosi simnika ibhotile ejinja kuthiwe phakelana uMC agoduke. If awufuni ukuba lapho uzawuthi no, mna yami finance, and that's it. And
because guess what? Because guess what? When you tolerate them, you end up, it affects the quality of your service.
Yes.
It affects the quality of your delivery. It affects your vision, that your effectiveness. Right? So aphumelele nguqu uyasummarizela every point esidiscussayo sincokola ngayo. You don't charge according to their budget. You charge according to your value and the value you will add to that business. Okay, so abazonixelela into bana you can't be uMC walento usicharge le mali angobani sikuniki exposure kutsho bona kuwe bafuna uzobenzela kodwa sakuniki exposure naliqonga kwabantu azabe abaninzi abazabe bekhona pha uyaprepare wenza so baba budget imali wena nansi yam, and if abanayo no it's akhondo, and if we invite you again play event uzawuya ube mhle uhlale pha phansi awuzuku emse because awubhadelwanga uqashwanga for yona noba kuthiwa lo ufuna uya kafike akuzothi akakhaba ubamba. Do not do that. That's true. So right, if you don't know your value, you put yourself at the mercy of being toyed around. Right. If you don't charge what your worth really is, you risk being toyed or messed up and about. Right? People don't value cheap things. People value valuable things. So this is one of the things I always say to people when they try to negotiate my price. I'm like, listen, my dream car is a Rolls Royce, dude. Right? Now listen to this. In Rolls Royce, you know, there's azenziwa zibe ninzi njengezinye imoto because they're not meant for the masses. Right? They're meant for people who can strictly afford, for a certain class. So you can never go into a Rolls Royce shop with the mindset of asking for lower prices. You walk into a Rolls Royce shop with the mindset to say, listen, the phone and added this and this and this into this car. You know, ufake stars, we light and whatever. And then they say, dude, listen, this is gonna cost you $1 million. But you know, the phone has any extras for the motor, which this will cost an extra $300,000. Right? Imagine walking into a Rolls Royce shop wanting to negotiate. So that's what I say to them, right? One day I want to be able to afford a Rolls Royce, and I can never walk into a Rolls Royce shop and negotiate. So don't negotiate my price, don't negotiate my value. I'm not open to negotiate. Right? In fact, somebody, you know, a couple of months ago, I was negotiating a deal on one of my properties, and this guy said, listen, I want to ask Ukuti, you can lower the price. And I said, listen, you saw the price on property 24. Did you come here for discounts? Right? Did you organize all this whole meeting to have discounts? I don't have that money to give you. You saw the price. When you came here, I thought we were going to make a deal. Are we going to make a deal? And guess what? The dude paid me the full price. Right? So when you do not know how to negotiate your worth, you always be at the mercy of the dice roll. And trust me, the dice roll does not have much for you. Right? The dice roll does not have much for you. Right? That's one of the things that kill business. It's this price thing. It's people are afraid to ask for their worth. Do not be afraid to ask for your worth. Do not be afraid to ask for your worth. You never are afraid to ask for your worth. Be unapologetic. Yes, you know, we backgrounds where, you know, people are afraid of calling their price, right? Because you know, no, you are too expensive. No, dude, you know, people, you know, let me tell you something. People don't mind buying expensive things. Rolls Royce. It's a watch, dude. It's only a watch. When we can't now, basically you're going to be seeing Ukuti Kashali 1. 27 minutes
past 8.
Exactly.
Nakle phone, nakle laptop, nakle watch.
So which means whether you Rolex, whether you know it's a cheap one, whether it's a tag here, whether you lay 100 rand, you take up Mr. Price, Ella Kashali bears out 27 minutes past 8 right now, and that's it. Right? But people pay hundreds and thousands of rands to millions for that stuff. Why? Because, you know, it's gold, dude. Right? So the thing is not really the price. The people is, there's two reasons why people don't pay your worth. I'm going to tell you something. There's two reasons why people don't pay your worth. The first one is because you don't believe in yourself. That's the first one. In other words, uyoyika ukuthi xa unothi uchaja 15,000 rand, right? Abantu bazawubaleka. You're not going to have customers. Right? But dude, your tribe can afford you. Your tribe doesn't mind paying 15,000 rand. Do you think Rolls Royce cares if the masses cannot afford? They don't care. Rolls Royce does not care. Right? They know their tribe can afford it. And guess what? Their tribe cannot only afford their basic price, you know, their base cars for you. Their pride can afford the extras. And their pride, their tribe knows exactly what their extras. It's $100,000 more, right? Sure. So when you say you could only 15,000 rand, and you sabotaging yourself, dude, right? And that's the thing. So the first thing is that you don't believe in yourself, right? You think that there's scarcity of money. Scarcity. We always think that there's lack of money. There's not enough money. Money is being printed every day.
So
they're printing millions of dollars every single day, right? So the thing is, out of these millions that are being printed every single day, how much are you taking per day? How much is your claim per day, right? So that's the thing, man. We need to stop thinking small and really start thinking in abundance. When you live in a world of too much money, you understand that there is more than enough money for you to get paid for whatever your service is. So the first thing is that maybe you don't believe in yourself. The second thing is maybe you don't believe in your product. Maybe you don't believe in what you're selling, right? Belief and conviction play a very important part. I think belief, because when you're making a sales or when you're making a sales call, your belief, it's all about a transfer of trust in what you are doing, either in yourself or in your product. So for me, if you're doing a sales call with me, you need to transfer that trust, and it's a transfer of energy. And that's what money is. Money is energy. Money is energy, right? So when you are begging for sales, you're giving the power away to the customer.
Okay.
When you are begging for sales and, being all needy and stuff, you're giving the power away to the customer, right? Rolls-Royce never begs anyone to buy a Rolls.
Yeah.
They just, and guess what?
They don't
Rolls-Royce, all they
negotiate.
did is they don't negotiate. They created their product and they made their product attractive for a certain class. They marketed their product for a certain class. You who cannot afford,
Wow.
You not being able to afford this is none of their business. They have their own charge.
Yep. Masizeke lihle apha embuzweni ozawuma how to get high paying clients. I'm sure baphulaphuli ba ready to hear bayivile yonke enye into, but uzabafumana njani?
Awesome. So you need to understand one thing. So the first and most important thing is you need to understand that you need to be more valuable. People pay for value, right? People pay for value. So you need to be more valuable. Your skill sets need to be more valuable in the market. Remember, we get paid in direct proportion to our skill sets in the market, to what we bring to the table in the market. So if you are not bringing much, you will not earn much.
Yep.
A cashier earns roughly between 3,000 to 6,000 rand a month. Why? Because anybody can count money.
Yeah.
A grade 10 dropout can count money, right? It's basic maths, right? So you're not really much needed in the marketplace. Actually, you are the one who sees the opportunity as a job opportunity. It's not the opportunity that sees you as an opportunity. So which means one of the most important things you need to become so valuable that you get skills that make you needed in the marketplace, not wanted. Because when you are wanted, you're full of shit. We don't really need you, but there's a lot of people who anybody can count money. You can hire a grade 10 child, a person who dropped out in grade 10 to be a cashier. In grade 10, I could have been a cashier because I was actually packing bags at Spa, right? So that skill is not really, it's a basic skill. You're just counting money, getting paid for counting money. So you need to look at, what value are you bringing to the market and how much is this worth? So I've got a lot of skill sets. So one of my skill sets is you could say finding good deals. Right? I can tell what makes a good property deal and what makes a bad property deal, and people pay me for it. Right? So you get people who give me a phone call and say, listen, I have a budget here, 1 million, but I need you to help me. If money is property, they can help me make 30 to 45,000 rand income per month. Right? Those are my skills. I can get that for you. I can get you a property that can pay for itself, a property that can pay for its maintenance, that can pay all of its debts, and still pay you 15,000 rand profit after all expenses. That's my skill set.
So you need to up your skills. Bottom line, don't be comfortable with what you have right now. Puma up your skills so that uzokwazi uba uzofumana okanye ubize le price uyifunayo. You must be valuable.
Be valuable to the market. So people are willing to pay me. And guess what? For this property skill alone, as in skills that I have, for this property skill alone, I don't make less than 50,000 rand from one client.
Sure.
Just from this property skill alone, right? It's a needed property skill. I'm helping you invest in a product or in a property that can pay you monthly income and pay you a serious income at that, right? So that's one of my solving problem, abilities. Another one is negotiating deals. Just to negotiate, imagine, just to ask. Negotiating is all about asking. That's all negotiating is. It's about asking, but asking intelligently, asking smartly, asking with skill. I'm going to make an example for you. I always make this example and people sometimes don't understand. If I come to you as a stranger and I say to you, please give me 50 rand, what's your attitude to me? I'll tell you my attitude towards. My attitude would be like, dude, where do you think 50 rand comes from? Every single day when I need money, I don't call people and ask for money. Every single day when I need money, I make phone calls so that selling my value, selling my product, selling myself, or selling something that my company can do for you to make the 50 rand. But if that very same stranger comes to you and says, listen, can I wash your car for 50 bucks? I want 50 rand, can I wash your car? What's your attitude? Oh, great. If you have a car and your car is dirty, I'm making 50 rand for buying something. Isn't it? Right? So which means that's all there is to negotiations, right? It's asking intelligently. It's asking with some skill. So I also that's one of my high-paying income skills. It's that I can negotiate deals. I know how to structure it. And this is not something that came from nothing. I had to be an apprentice to my mentors. I had to learn from my mentors. I had to see them negotiate these deals. I had to watch them. I had to go through the process. I had to pay money to educate myself. Now, this is a ridiculous thing that I find from people, right? And tell me how funny this is. People are willing to spend or loan hundreds of thousands of rands for them to go to school. Now, listen to this. For them to go to school to secure a degree so that they can earn minimum wage or, well, just over a minimum wage, right? But people, and now check this out, they're actually paying to learn skills for the workplace, right?
Sure.
Because you're going to school, you're paying what, 100,000 rand, whatever the tuition fee, to learn a skill, right?
Yes.
And then people are willing to make a loan to learn skills for employment, to learn skills for them to make a living, to learn skills for them to be told what their worth is. Dude, kubana nesi skill, what your worth is. Dude, that arrangement was ridiculous for me. That arrangement is an insult. I found it as an insult. So for me, I worked for free for very rich people and for wealthy people so that I could learn the skills, right? But I had to bring something in the table, right?
Sure.
So for me, I understood that it's skills that make us rich. It's your education can get you there, but how many people do you know who have degrees who have actually become rich through degrees? Who credit their wealth to them having secured a degree or a PhD in medicine or whatever. I've not seen that, right? So which means there are skill sets that are out there. That's why for me, I pay a lot of money for me to be taught business. That's why I pay a lot of money to learn business skills. Every single month, I have my own budget in which I can learn more high-paying skills, right? You cannot be a billionaire with the mindset, the skill sets, Katishal. It's not going to happen. A teacher earns whatever they are earning because that's the problem they're solving in the marketplace. Okay. So, want to be a millionaire? Solve problems with millions. Want to be a billionaire? Solve problems with billions. But then, if you cannot solve the problems, invest in your skills. Eskolweni, people raised money. People made loans to learn skills, to have to become a school teacher. But they don't want to raise money and make loans to have skills for them to earn $1 million. And then no, paying 20,000 rand is too much. Oh, really? It wasn't too much to raise 100,000 rand to earn the income katishala. Now it's too much to raise 20,000 to earn an income of a millionaire. It's a mockery, dude. So actually, people really. So for you to really, one of the things you need to always understand is that for every single thing you want in life, there are two things you always need to invest. Always need to invest time, and you always need to invest money. To make more money, you invest time, and you invest money, right? To earn an income of a doctor needs to invest time, right? And they invest more time than the average person does. Why? Because they want to earn, become high-earning professionals, right? They need to maintain a certain standard, 85% and above, for over since grade 10, right? After grade 10, said in 7 years or so, to maintain that standard, right? And when they maintain that standard over that 7 to 10 year period, their income as a doctor is sure. Their income, as a doctor is a sure thing. Couple of months ago, I was sick, paid 400 rand for 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes of consultation. 400 rand, Ndapuma, I left the dentist, but I paid for consultation. I paid for this doctor to speak to me, right? To diagnose me. Don't like, okay, utumbile. Okay, this is what you need, right? Okay, now because this is what you need, and the 400 rand, I paid 400 rand before I even saw the doctor. I didn't know if the doctor is a yellow bone, it's chocolate, I didn't even know 400 rand, I'm saying, right? And by the time this person spoke to me, they spoke for less than 10 minutes, I promised you. And they just spoke. It's something that you and I can do, right? Anybody can speak, right? But it's because the quality of content they spoke to me in less than 10 minutes was worth 400 rands.
400 rands.
Right? And then I still have to go and buy prescription medicine, stuff. Right? So basically, I paid to hear someone tell me what my problem is.
All right, it's 8:42 Mpulapul, it's 8:42 on the social crossover. It's called Keith Ngesi Radio. We're doing radio according to you. Sihleli naye ke uLihle King Ngcoyi from Lihle King Ngcoyi Empire, Empire Cape Town, and all over the country, all over ngokunoba sekhona naphesha kwelwandle. Young as he is, kodwa kuthetha ezinkulu ezenza into yoba mawuqomba uyangcuthalaza uqomba yenza ithini na lento, kodwa ke into engamandla xa sobheke and pay the bills ukuba yonke lento ilapha kuwe, up your skills in Mpulapuli and negotiate deals, ask, and most importantly invest time and invest money xa ufuna ke uba kanti into zakho zizawudubula. Make silungise ngapha Lihle. Everything that you need. We help you prepare for the day. Please join us every weekdays from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Being comfortable in your own skin affords a person certain freedoms that those who are not do not have. When you can look in the mirror and love what you see, that is a moment of truth. And that is what we all aspire to. So, from Monday to Friday between 9 a.m. and 12, join me, 2 cents, and me, Lhoza, for a brand new moment of truth. You'll be challenged, entertained, taken on a roller coaster of emotions, and still tapping your toes to the rhythm of the music. And why not? Let's make 9 to 12 our moment of truth together.
Weekdays only on KNR.
According to you. See you then.
Oh yes, radio according to you, the moment of truth by Landela Gay from 9 to 12 bazabekhona ngaba no 3 cents no 2 cents kodwa ke okwangokuthi na apha social crossover senayo lihle kaKing Ngqoyi funeka ke sisho ngathele ke ngenxa yexesha lomcimbi sithetha ngayo into bana jonga i-contacts zethi secure i-contracts zethi secure i-revenue wena emva koko nca i-wealth emntaneni. Secure contracts as a contracts will secure contracts and contracts secure revenue and then revenue secures wealth ingebo. And
that's what this is about. And now in closing, you know, I always say to people, you know, always make sure that you upskill what you bring to the table.
Sure.
So which means to earn $1 million, you need to have skills worth $1 million, right? Remember what we said. Now this is another interesting thing I noticed about nurses. Nurses understand this thing. This is a nurse will, you know, nurses tend to be people who tend to like upskilling themselves. So a nurse, for example, you know, you spend, I don't know, you spend around 3 to 5 years or so, 4 years or something like that, securing a degree to become a nurse. After that, they earn an income of a nurse, and they realize, oh, I don't like working 12 hours, the meal. The income of his staff nurse, whose staff nurse earns more income than me. So for me to become a staff nurse, what does the nurse do? They go back to school, right?
Sure.
They upskill themselves. Tuition fees or kind of a company for them to what? To learn more skills or about basic stuff. And then you get what I'm saying? Maybe let's say it's an additional 1 year or 2 years of learning. Next thing you are earning now income yandoni, your staffness, not abandonness, staffness. You know what I mean, right? And then next thing, you realize income your staffness in Dalo, I want to earn more. And it's always about that. To earn more, you need to learn. There's a reason why the word learn comes before earn. So if you are not earning your worth, it means there's something you have not learned. Right? So which means for you to earn your worth, even securing high-paying income, no one will pay you, you know, high-paying skills. Skills. So you need to be serious about investing money and time into yourself. The single best investment you can ever make is not property, it's not cryptocurrencies, it's not outside of yourself. You are your best investment. Invest in you, invest in your mind. Right? How many tricks do you have in the bag that can secure the bag? It's about the skills you've got that can secure the bag, right? A lot of, like, for example, I always say to people, a lot of people talk. I get paid for talking. I make money from talking. A lot of people talk. Everybody has a mouth. But there's not many who even make the money I make just from talking. I make money from talking. So just improve the quality of content you take.
Invest in yourself.
The quality of conversation. Right?
Invest in yourself, invest in your mind. Ndayithanda le ndlela sivala ngayo. Masivale kulo note ke mphulaphula 848 kwi-social crossover ngalo lwesibini namhlanje the 9th of March 2021 hlelo noKing Lihle Ngqoyi. Ngamfumana ke kwikhasi lakhe lonxibelelwano uLihle King Ngqoyi okanye Ngqoyi awuthi Ngqoyi yena Lihle King Ngqoyi okanye ku www.lihlekingngqoyi.com lapho inkcukacha zakhe ezithe vetshe onozifana khona. Manibulele wethu Lihle King Ngqoyi.
Thank you very much, ma. Thanks a lot, ma. I appreciate you guys so much.
Sibulela thina ngomane uziavela uzomane uzosifundisa usiqobulula inkwethu Nkosi yami kaloku sakhula thina kunjalo ngoku kufuneka sithi unlearn laa nto into yobana bufundile wapasa uphelele pha yenza loo nto ke kuphela ucuku siyalibala uba abantu they evolve funeka utshintshile funeka unyukile funeka ufundile and funeka uinveste in yourself sasixelele loo nto bafunda mntanam upase uthini and that's it but ke ngoku usifundisa into enye. Thank you so much for your time. Sakhupha ke ngengobe mnandi Puff Johnson esithi God sent you and God sent you uzosiqabulula ebekhundleni siyabulela. Thank you so much.
Thank you so
All
much.
right,
Thank you so much.
cool. Mapulapulu will be on there'll be no sound if you are tuning in. Okay, you're watching via Facebook for the duration of the song. Then immediately sakho birthday senze nezinye izinto ezikhalezile sizohamba and make a way. Puff Johnson esithi God sent you, you're the only man I need. Akutsho mna kutsho yena 9 minutes before. Kaloku xa thunyelelwe kuzawude kuthiweni. Oh yes, Truth now ke baphulaphula sambona nje uTrue Sense bayamazi kakhulu ke ngelikalungelo kanzama kuye kumbhexesho lenkqubo ilandelayo. True.
Yes. That's the moment of truth. As usual. Number one is the 24th anniversary of the death of the notorious B.I.G.
Okay.
So we've got a tribute on the show. Then the George Floyd killers, George Floyd's killer, his trial started. Yes, I'm wondering. Whose trial was that?
It was River Popule Oscar Pistorius trial.
So Janibal the details about it's being sold as the George Floyd trial. Over the victim is on trial at the scene.
Sure.
So I mean, there's some thinking that we have to do, but pull and we'll do it together, but we'll do it in a moment of truth.
Okay. So it's actually Nyanis.
Yeah, boy.
Okay. Right. That's more Ulungelo Kanzama.
Yes.
I think Mama Shalapa Ulungelo. Mashalapa Ulungelo Elungelo Kanzama. Mageza hamba naye ke now sikadiniso isiphatheleke moment of truth imizuzu isixhenxe phambi basithi ke ngokwentsimbi yesithoba mandihambeni ne khani nikhululeni oko bendilapha nani ngentsimbi yesithandathu igama lam ndingunolo wakwavitsha uLhoza Wamamfene kodwa ke before that andikrobe nje wethu bakuzalwa bani na esentshilo ndathi umama uHelen Zille iyazalwa namhlanje nantso ke indaba elungu Mama Helen Zille iyazalwa nabo bonke abanye abantu ke abazalwayo namhlanje ndifuna nje ukuthi kuni nikhule ke ningakhokhobi inkosi yoxolo nihambe nani kulo nyaka mtsha ningena kuwo nikhumbule ke into yobana uyasindisa ningakhuli nje ke ngeminyaka kodwa nikhule nangasentla ule nangokomoya or kanjani. Helen Zille yazalwa namhlanje ngo-1951, a poet yaseMzantsi Afrika, writer and musician. Robert Calvert, 1945 yena wazalwa. Luthando Shosha, 1989 wazalelwa pha eGqeberha. Funeka itshintshwe le nto ithi bhayi, eGqeberha walibona ke ilanga yena namhlanje. Elina Sisulu, South African writer and activist, wazalelwe 71, a politician yalapha eMzantsi. Carl Matthews, Shaw Matthews, 9 December qabile. Jonga nje quickly kutsala ka Facebook ndizokhawuleza ndihambe. Nonzuzo Brown naye ke uPower uTaPower amawele akwaTata Diko ayazalwa ngalemini yanamhlanje. Ningakhokhobi kulo ndawo nikuya no elinye wele lingapha laba nguMrs Brown ngapha phesheya. Kodwa ke wele lakhe lapha lona apha ke kuGombo. Happy birthday kunike Power uMandla kunye ke noNzuzo wakadiko oseMrs Brown yena. Happy birthday nakumntu wethu nozalwayo ngalemini yanamhlanje. Kufuneka ndiya hashtag Ask Rwanda sijongene nebenye imicimbi ke yezempilo apha ke enkqubeni. Izawube ke ipacked njengesiqhelo. So masidibane ngomso, same time, same website, www.keithngesi.radio.com. igama lam ndinguNolo kwaVita, Lhoza Wamamfene, Babes Radio, Babes wireless, Babes kanomathotholo, uDubs Westish. Nibe nikhuseleke bethunani. COVID-19 isakhona isabulala. Have a blessed day. Sanishiya ke no DJ Zinhle esithi Indlo featuring ke uLoyiso. Emva koko uSanel the musician uzathi akana mali featuring Shayna something Soweto. Have a blessed day. Masibonane kwixesha elizayo, which is tomorrow. Bye bye.